You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13. I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.
This is Your Welcome America, the podcast that explains what the bloody hell Brits are banging on about.
In every episode, we translate British pop culture for America
And American pop culture for Britain. You're welcome. I'm Ben.
I'm Frazer.
Frazer like Razor.
And who are you?
My name's Laura. I'm Frazer like Razor's mother.
Mama Razor.
Mama Razor,
Mama Razor.
is in the house,
Just as cutting.
if not more.
No.
She's here. We're doing a special episode where we talk about Eurovision. We're getting Laura's take on Eurovision and the world.
Oh, dear.
And just life in general.
Maybe not everything in the world.
Not everything in the world.
Let's not do hot button topics, shall we? Let's protect her at some cost.
We did a few of those at dinner last night, and I've just been goading her with them every now and again as well.
Let's not do that. For my own sanity, let's not delve down that way.
It's the day after Eurovision.
It is.
For all listeners that are joining us, as ever, you know that we normally do an American pop culture topic and a British pop culture topic. This is just a special. So we treat.
A little bonus.
We bonus.
It's a European
It's
instead.
exactly European special. Fan of Aldi over there. Talking of European, tell us about those jelly beans.
20 flavours in one packet. All different colours.
And what was your feedback for Aldi? You said they've done really well.
They've done really well.
So we've just been eating some jelly beans that Laura brought from Aldi.
Speaking of which, I'm going to just go and rummage in the cupboard for something that Laura brought with her. Hold the line.
Oh, I
I
feel.
bought you a gift.
Okay, I'm just going to describe the scene. Fraser is walking over to the kitchen. I hear a rustle. I'm going to close my eyes.
Can you guess what the rustle sounds like?
Now that sounds like a crisp. Don't tell me. I wonder, is it? I feel. Oh no! Wait a minute. I feel something in my hand. It's cylindrical. What? Oh, is it a pot noodle? Chicken and mushroom pot noodle and whoa.
Yeah.
A supreme prawn cocktail, Walker's 6-pack of crisps.
Yeah.
I happened to hear you mention them.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to my tongue just losing all sensation.
Stripping it of any kind of buds left.
I love a prawn cocktail.
That'll be lovely when you get home tonight after you've gone to Bears in Space.
Yeah, I'll just be in bed creating crumbs.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
All right.
I will say that's not my favorite flavor, but that's okay. Chow mein.
We had some issues in terms of sourcing the pot noodles, and I didn't have the strength to throw another flavor into the mix.
No, I'm excited about it.
I have to say, I had a shopping list from my mother. Went to the supermarket. When I saw the list after I arrived there, and not before, it had pot noodles on it. I'd completely forgotten Fraser asking about pot noodles, and I thought, my mother's having a pot noodle first time in her life. I didn't know where they were. I had to ask someone because I've never known where to look for those and never bought them. And then I was thinking all the time, this is the strangest thing. I even said to the person I asked, my mum's never had a pot noodle in her life.
So you were giving everyone in the store your mum's sort of life story, as it were.
That's
One person.
Not a. That's an everyday occurrence. Mum's not seeing anything strange with what you just said.
I'm
bit.
excited to find out when you take off the top, is there still that kind of, wasn't there like a sachet of something?
Yeah, you get the sachet of, each one comes with its own sauce thing that kind of accompanies it.
Like a salt and shake.
Yes, exactly. We used to love a salt and shake crisp in the house, didn't we?
We did. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Glue.
I know what I forgot. Oh, no, I'm getting the Ribena, aren't I?
You're getting the Ribena.
I'm getting the Ribena on this.
So we can make
trip.
the Ribena Ritas.
Yes, of course.
Well,
I have to remember
thank you
that.
very much for these. I appreciate
You're welcome.
them massively.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I got some Worcester sauce crisps.
And some Marmite.
And some Marmite.
fun.
Yeah. And that big slab of dairy milk that you and me have been pecking at like birds this week.
I'm just gonna have a square. I'm just gonna have one square. Before we get into the proper episode, shall we do a little bit of feedback?
Yeah.
As ever, if you want to get in touch with us, go to our Instagram. You can email us at
You're Welcome America podcast at gmail.com.
There we go. Well, firstly, I got to say, as part of Your Welcome America, we have launched a petition.
Oh, yes.
This is really important. We want you to rate and review us, but in other terms of engagement with our audience, we have started a change.org petition to beg Cheryl to release a greatest hits mega mix to celebrate 15 years of Fight for This Love next year.
Yes.
So we're getting ahead of it.
Yeah, and we want it to include every single. We don't want singles to be excluded.
Exactly. We want every single and Sexy Denim Mother.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important.
Ooh, I think Sexy Denim Mother would be a good like opener for it.
Sexy Denim Mother. Also, that's how she opened her show, her concert. Wow. Sexy Denim Mother. So anyway, we've pinned that at the top of our Instagram. Please just go to the link. The link is in our bio. How many let's see how many signatures we're up to now.
I think we might have cracked double digits.
I think we are. We are up to 11 signatures.
Oh, good guess.
I was just guessing.
On our Cheryl Cole, Cheryl Tweedy, Cheryl Fernandez Versini, Cheryl Change.org petition. Right, what feedback have we got, babes? So Camille in Glasgow has got in touch. She has sent from her neighbourhood Facebook group in Glasgow. I'm just going to read the post. It's 2 cast iron traditional horizontal, in quotation marks, old school radiators. £500.
Oh, that's pricey.
That's $250 each though. That's them.
Yeah, but they're very sought after.
They are sought after. Tell you what, it's chilly in Glasgow. Do you know who's selling those in Camille's neighbourhood?
Who do you, I mean, I know. Let's get Laura to take a guess. So what Scottish celebrity do you think could be selling their radiators on a Facebook marketplace post?
Right now, Nicola Sturgeon.
That is actually a very good guess.
It's wrong.
It is
I know
wrong.
that.
I don't know if Nicola would be in the market of cast iron traditional radiators. It's Carol Smiley.
Carol Smiley.
So she's selling some old school cast iron traditional horizontal radiators for £500 for 2. There we are. Thanks, Camille.
She's a businesswoman.
She is.
Oh no, it's Linda Barker that has the house filled with all her products, isn't it? The spare house.
Yeah, her many.
Linda Barker, who speaks too loud all of the time.
Linda Barker, she sort of talks like this, like her voice is constantly breaking.
And it's very loud.
Is
Is
it?
It's the first time you've been heard on mic so far today. Thank you. Not really feedback, but just a visual treat sent to us by Andre Sosa, which I only like Ben to say in a Scottish accent.
Andre Sosa. There we go.
And he's just sent us, I think he's obviously back in the UK for a little trip, and he's got his flight essentials. Oh, this is it. The post is actually, we've been tagged in the post. He's at Heathrow Terminal 5, and inside of his hand luggage, there's a Walker's Max kind of flame-grilled steak crisp, and then a grab bag of pickled onion Monster Munch.
Oh, that's because I had asked him. Oh my God, Andre Sosa,
Is
are
he
these
bringing
for
them
us?
for us? Well, how's he going to send them to us? We don't have a PO box number.
Imagine if it suddenly just a knock at the door.
Yes.
Hi, Andre, straight from the plane.
Very good Foley work, Laura.
Yeah. Also, I did post to our stories because after our discussion of Ribena Toothkind last week, Matt in LA got in touch. I found a court case from 2001 where Ribena Toothkind was more like Ribena Toothcon
Yes.
because it's not kind to teeth. Well, duh.
Yeah. It was, they actually did it. It's a very classic American marketing tool where they just basically said, compared to other soft drinks.
What about the sugarless version?
So I think that's different from Toothkind.
Yeah. Toothkind was some
In between.
some mysterious technology that made it kind to teeth, which it didn't. Lydia got in touch, my friend Lydia, whose wedding I'm going home for soon. She actually thinks that the US equivalent of 5 is O-Town.
I think she's wrong.
Yeah. I'll tell her that to her face when I see her in a couple of weeks.
Ben thinks you're wrong.
I'll interrupt the wedding.
Yeah.
I have something to say. I do have an objection. An objection to your opinion from Ben.
Is it about the wedding or the marriage? No. It's about something far more important.
Okay.
Yeah, as ever, if you want to get in touch, do go to our Instagram, email us, please rate and review us. We love your ratings and reviewings. We haven't had one for a while. And also, as I said, pinned on our Instagram is our Cheryl campaign. And also, it seems like many people are into it. We've got Jenny, who's been busy. Lizzie Loves It 86. She signed it. Lizzie Loves It 86 says she'd like to request the Show Me Love version of Fight for This Love for the mega mix.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be nice. Andy said, it's 15 years. Shanina said, what a vital campaign. Chris
Correct.
Kenny 95, yes please, prayer hands, then Tad Cheryl, good work there. Jenny floats, at Girls Aloud, help us. So it's all go.
Busy. We're busy on there.
We're activists.
Activists, exactly. And in these trying times, I think this is the thing to focus on. And I'm not being sarcastic.
Shall we get into the episode?
Sure.
Okay, so yesterday it was Eurovision. I don't know what are you about to do?
Corn.
Okay. It's Eurovision yesterday. It's our second year in a row where we went to a darkened bar at... what time did I arrive?
11:29.
Thank you. At the darkened bar. What time were doors open?
11:30.
Yeah.
We were in line.
What time did you get there?
11:20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was in charge of quite an unwieldy band of people that were coming from my place.
Yeah.
We didn't have any hot water. That was a fun thing. Teddy came over to shower because of reasons I can't bother to get into. He had to have a cold shower.
Yeah.
So did Bordeaux. I had kind of a real ragtag crew of people that I can't quite trust to get ready on time. So I was having to be very, as Mum said, at one point she was scared.
Oh. Laura,
That takes a lot.
how was your cold shower? Did you have much to say about that?
I had so much to say in there that I decided it was best I said nothing.
Oh.
Because I could have given sound effects. There would have been a screaming,
Okay.
which I don't do very often.
But you got showered. You were wearing a lovely
Absolutely
lovely
freezing.
linen number that was quite similar to
A deck chair.
a deck chair, but also
your shirt.
my shirt. We were
so
dressed
now I'm
quite
telling
similar.
him his shirt looked like a deck chair. I didn't say that yesterday.
You're saying I look like a chair. You're saying I look like a chair.
There was also a very frantic moment where Mum was trying to get ready, and she threw that linen deck chair dress to me, and she said, "Well, I can't wear this until it's been ironed." And it turned out the only thing that needed ironing was just the two little pockets on the front. So I got an iron and just went beep, beep, and then she was happy.
Okay.
Real crisis.
This is
crisis,
true.
Crisis averted, eh?
You needed those ironed linen
Can't
pockets
deny it.
for Akbar in Silver Lake.
So obviously you have been to Akbar before, but you were seeing it in a much clearer vision, Eurovision, if you will.
Yes.
This time, right?
Yeah.
Because last time we went to Akbar was my birthday 2 years ago.
After a whole day event.
Well, I was going to say it was an afternoon to evening party that I had at the pool of my building and in my apartment. Everyone went home apart from you and me, and me and Mum hit the club.
We did.
And it's the event where Mum exited Akbar and folded neatly into the street with a very delicate fall.
I did.
One of two falls you've had in Los Angeles on separate occasions.
Yes.
None this trip.
No, not yet.
So
Certainly
far.
not. No, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
I'm
Well,
flat shoes only.
say flat shoes only. I'm just going to turn my head to the shoe rack in Fraser's apartment. I see some. What are we calling those?
A wedge.
Wedges.
A ropey.
A rattan
Ropey.
wedge.
Yeah, a rattan wedge with a shiny gold kind of inlay and a floral design with a fabric flower on each kind of toe, end of each foot.
They look nice on.
They look much better on than they do off.
As you told me yesterday.
I'll give you that.
Is that why you bought two pairs?
No, they were given to me by a friend of mine.
Oh, giving shoes is a strange gift. What's this relationship?
I know.
She gave me 6 handbags as well.
At the back of a boot of a car, like where?
No, she's just having a sort out.
A
And
sort out, clear out.
I will say that also having come, very recently, and me and Mum doing a lot of just daytime activities and walking around and things. Last time Mum had absolutely no formal bags for any kind of nice events. This time she's come with nothing but just endless evening bags for us to go to several galas together, and not one kind of simple crossbody bag that she can wear just in the
Nothing
daytime
practical.
to go for a walk or anything.
no, nothing practical.
So
at
next
all.
time we go for a hike, Mum will be carrying one of her bags for the gala.
Are you gonna dress for how you aspire your life to be? Dress up.
That's the problem, you see. Last night I really wanted to wear my wedges, but to walk down there on those uneven pavements, and my history track record doesn't really bode well.
It's true.
It's quite steep, but
If
also
you'd
you
done
have to
that-
get back up that hill.
We might as well have just flung you down the hill if you'd been in those wedges.
I know.
Toss her down and see what happens. So what were your
Frustrating.
what were your thoughts on Akbar in the cold light of day? Did you feel like you'd never been there before?
No, I felt the opposite, and I thought it was such a lovely atmosphere for that. I can't think of any. Well, I've never been anywhere in England to do with the Eurovision, So whether there is anywhere that holds something like that during the day with all these different nationalities in there, and it was great, really lovely atmosphere.
Yeah,
I thought it was
I think
good.
there's like the Eurovision village they had this year in Liverpool, and I think that was people were saying that was really fun. I do think a lot of places in the UK do have gatherings for it, but what I like about the Akbar Eurovision is kind of the only place in LA you can watch it,
And it's also because of the time difference,
Yeah.
middle of the day.
Yeah, so
It's not even the middle. It's like early.
We had Bloody Marys in our hands, Laura,
At
before
midday.
Before midday.
Yeah,
I
I
know we
had a
did.
beer in my hand at 11:45 a.m. But the reason I like that about it is that it really gathers together a real ragtag crew of kind of Europeans that live in Los Angeles and also like a very hardcore contingent of Americans that
Yeah.
love Eurovision. So it really feels like you've met your people.
I did wonder when I went to the loo on one occasion. I was in the queue,
Lou.
and there was
Queue.
Lou and Q, and there was there was this woman behind me who started talking to me, and she was from Finland, and she was here on holiday, but she lives in London. But I didn't get the chance really to say. I should have said, "How did you find out about this?" Because how did she find out?
I know.
I wonder.
Just there was all those flyers and things they handed out that advertised, most notably, British hand pies. I had one of the British hand pies. So they had a little food section, and it was run by someone from England.
Was it?
And I was like to her, I said to her, British hand pies, and she's like, I know.
She's like, don't worry about
She's
it.
like, but the Americans won't understand what like a pasty is, so I had to put British hand pies. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I had a sausage roll.
I think British hand pies sounds like a descriptor they would use like on the American version of like Bake Off. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It felt very translated
yeah.
through the mangle.
Now drinks. What were we on?
I was staunchly sticking to beers, Modelo's, to keep myself on the straight and narrow.
I had water to start with,
Yeah.
which is very unusual for me.
Then
But
what were
I
you
did
on?
That Bloody Marys,
How many?
2,
Two.
and then I had a gin
Did you?
and tonic.
You moved from a vodka to a gin?
I did.
Wow.
However, it's worth noting, I asked the bartender if they could give me a mum measure. I said, this is for my mum, and I need to not have her collapse in the street when we leave. And then and they were like, okay, I get it. And they actually got out the little measuring thing, and then basically gave me mum had a UK gin and
a
tonic.
25 mil or a 50 mil?
I think it was a 50 mil. So it was
Yeah.
like she had a double gin and tonic.
Double gin.
It was really just right.
Yeah. Like if you, I almost want to have you try an Akbar gin and tonic, because I unfortunately think that you and me did drink them that night that we went there, but like we could have been drinking like
Gasoline.
lighter fluid at that point, and both of us were too
Weed
far
killer.
gone. Yeah. Just water, actually. They could have just given us waters and we'd be like, woo!
I had a Bloody Mary, and then I had an Aperol Spritz, because much like last year, they had the Aperol in, which I know might not sound interesting to most people out there, but if you've been to Akbar, drinking an Aperol Spritz out of a little tumbler.
Yeah. It's a risky ticket.
Yeah.
So that generally, much like last year, we managed to scramble to get seats in the area of the dance floor that they turned into the viewing area. I will say this year, not one tech issue. Absolutely smoothly put together. Really good.
Whether it was at Akbar or in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Not one tech issue anywhere.
Great show.
Well, I've got something to say first of all.
Okay.
I had a text from someone today. Now, the show was obviously coming from Liverpool this year, and I couldn't work out what's the name of the arena in Liverpool, because obviously Manchester MEN. I know in Glasgow it's the SECC. Birmingham, NEC.
NEC.
We all know that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the
Norwich. Football stadium.
Canaries.
Carrow Road.
Do you want to know what the Liverpool stadium's called?
The Liver Lido.
It's the M&S Arena.
Oh.
Is it? Not the S&M Marina.
No.
No, Arena.
Only on certain nights.
You can cut that
the
out.
M&S Arena.
Wow.
Is that not good?
I love that. It's like how
Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
Thank you
They
to
get
Andrew
involved.
Westwell for getting in touch
it's
with that.
like it's like how here when the Staples Center became the
Crypto.com.
Crypto.com, and I was really like, oh, that's so sad. Then I was like, oh, Staples is a office supply shop.
Yeah.
And that's no better. The M&S Arena.
M&S room. I said, I wonder if there's like, the VIPs, they get to watch the show from like the Percy Pig suite.
Yeah. Oh,
The Percy Pig viewing suite.
that intro.
Yeah, the intro of the show. Let's
intro
talk
was
about
wild. So it was last year's. It was Ukraine, the winners from last year, and it was kind of a mixture of like a video performance with like featured guests, and then a big like end stage kind of performance thing. Who popped up in that performance?
I'll do an impression of her.
Who was it, Mum?
Catherine, Princess of Wales.
Formal. Yeah, the very bizarre shot of Kate Middleton playing the piano
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
for the Ukrainian song.
Everyone.
I think for a moment we all went a bit quiet, just for that
Yeah,
second.
there was
Did we
a-
really see that?
There was
Yeah.
a lull, and then kind of gasps of shock and awe.
Wasn't expected.
quite odd.
Yeah,
It was.
did expect to see last year's winner Sam Sparrow Smith. What's his name?
Ryder.
Sam
That's
Ryder.
it. Oh.
Yeah, did expect to see Sam Ryder playing an electric guitar on top of like the Liverpool Town Hall. That felt right.
Yeah.
I think he's always there.
Yeah. I think he might be part of Eurovision from now on.
Yes,
I think that's just
I think
it.
so too.
Possibly.
I think he's just got a busy May every year.
Do you know what? And I'm happy for him to have that. He really does seem like one of the nicest people in the world.
He does. So yeah, the opening intro, the show itself, the stadium looked great. The M&S Arena was because M&S is, they've got the money.
And M&S combined with the BBC, I mean, could you get more reliable and British than that?
I feel so safe. So safe.
I thought it was really well run.
Yeah.
Oh,
really.
So my friends got in touch. Because they had friends who are working on it. Wait, what did they say to me? So of course we know we had 26 countries performing in the final, all on one stage. And she said the team have 48 seconds to reset the stage between each act.
Oh my God.
And tonight, as in the final, it was the 12th time they've done it in full over the past 6 days, not even counting the planning and other rehearsals.
Oh my God.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that is.
Especially considering that we went from like France, who had a hydraulic lift, to like Lorraine with a big sandy block about to crush her. There's a lot of staging. Didn't Australia have like a car on stage?
Yeah.
Let's all go.
A white car.
Yeah.
And who was it was standing as though she had a long dress on, but
That was France. That was France.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So I enjoyed seeing the hosts were great. There was that great Ukrainian woman. There was the woman from Ted Lasso who looked kind of like a gold Oscar the whole night.
She was very goldened up.
Yeah. And Graham Norton was, again, you want to talk about another safe pair of hands. Someone who can really steer a ship and actually still be fun.
Yeah.
And then the greatest person alive, Alicia Dixon.
Alicia Dixon.
Speaking of, at dance class this morning, they did play Scandalous.
So scandalous.
And I screamed, and the dance teacher, Benji, pointed at me. It was very fun.
Stop screaming.
No, it was more look of recognition. Should we talk about some of our favourites from the show?
Yes.
Out of order, I'm just going to go straight to Israel.
You, ne, con. I was very disappointed because there's a bit during her song where she says, "Do you want to see me dance? Do you want to see me dance?" And I was the only person that said, "Yes, yes." And I like that. And the third one, she goes, "You want to see me dance?" Bum, 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 bum.
Thud, 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 thud.
Yeah, so,
Slam down thigh. Boof,
Yeah.
doosh, doosh,
so
doosh.
that's Noah Carell from Israel. She did Unicorn, and it was basically a kind of a we always love to support a sexy lady who does a fun pop song and includes a dance break almost for no reason, much like our girl Chanel from last year.
Yeah.
The dance break wasn't as good as Chanel's, but I do think there was an unexpected backflip right at the end of Israel's that I wasn't expecting.
It was very much like she'd just been told to lip sync for her life on Drag Race, and it was a very good physical lip sync.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the vibe.
Yeah, like and it was like in an episode of Drag Race, it would be a real like moment of redemption for her. They were like, "Wow, she really came back and fought."
Yeah. We'll give her the show.
I also think she might be one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my entire life.
She's 22.
22.
22.
Can you imagine? 22.
You've just graduated from uni and you're off to Liverpool.
So yeah, Unicorn by Israel was my top pick. I will say, unlike last year when Chanel came out and performed and everyone got on their feet, I was the only person standing for Noah's performance, and at one point
But everybody knew. They were all singing the chorus.
That's true. Mm-hmm. I did scream, "You better work, bitch," and the girl in front of me did flinch because I think I did scream it into her ear. And again, like unlike last year when we were all screaming, I did feel I could hear my own voice over the crowd a little too loud. But hey, I support that song.
I obviously support Marco Mengoni.
But you would have supported him whether he could sing or not. So it's a bit of a sad thing to say, really.
Oh.
Well, you're
Oh,
supposed
wow.
to support him because he was a really good singer.
He is a good singer,
That's
though.
okay then. I was just
Oh,
sort
that's
of
okay. So I'm not allowed
asking
to be
you.
attracted to someone just based
Well, you're not
on
allowed to
how they are.
support someone just on the word.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very
Okay.
shallow.
Wow.
Okay, let's.
Your mum just called me
Oh,
shallow.
please. This is just. I mean,
Now she's trying to touch my leg without my consent. Wow.
I will say, much like the Israel.
That was a good song.
All right. Much like the Israel entrant was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. He might be one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're real match made in heaven. Those two. Well. Yeah. Ben was
dreamy.
kind of. You were just in like silent awe for Marco's performance, weren't you?
Just soaking it in.
Yeah. Taking that.
You and lots
Versace.
of others.
Yeah.
He also, did you notice when he came out at the top of the show, when they all came up with
Yeah.
their flags, he had an Italy flag and a...
a fully inclusive pride flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sending a message to you, Ben.
Thank you.
Ciao, abbiamo
musica.
musica.
Those are my two tops.
Yeah, they were say no more. And who was your favourite entrant?
Belgium.
Laura?
You were a big Belgium
Yeah.
supporter.
Yeah,
I
when
was.
Was it the hat?
It was definitely nothing to do with what they looked like, Ben.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder because he's no Marco
That would have been
Mengoni.
worrying, wouldn't it?
she'd had a few yanks. So Belgium was we did a bit of preparation and mum instantly hooked into Belgium's song. We were saying it's kind of it's like a 90s club anthem meets a RuPaul song.
Yeah.
And how does it go? Because I can only think of a little bit of love.
It was very catchy.
But
to
you
the
don't
point-
remember it.
No.
But he did well because he was doing fine. Then at the end, the audience felt really zhuzhed him up, didn't
Yeah. So yeah, I liked Israel and I did like France. I thought she was fun. The one that she was on kind of
Up
a
on the-
hydraulic lift with her dress.
Yeah, but I've got some notes in that performance. I wanted her to start at the top, and then the height, and then it could come down. The dress could get torn away, and then at a really dramatic moment in the song, she could just fall back,
Yeah.
like she's on a cross, and then she would appear like on the bottom of the stage.
She's called Lazara, which again is perfect for Scottish.
Lazara.
Yeah, La and Zara, Z-A-R.
Lazara.
There we go.
I was just impressed she managed to stand on that for a whole performance.
Well, she had like a rod, like a stick.
her back.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
no, she did. She's like kind of attached to it.
Tethered.
And then one of my favourite Eurovision moments was just when we were kind of settling into some performances. I smelt the ocean breeze and I heard a light tropical. And I thought, what tropical European country entry is this going to be? It was Poland. Sola, sola. That's Blanca, another great one for you.
Blanca. Blanca's doing sola. Yeah.
So I really enjoyed her. She was just a real fun, frothy little performance that definitely wasn't going to get any points, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I like her staging. She had they had like hand movements that went with the song, and it was all projected on the stage behind her. Just a quick note: the staging was pretty amazing. Like everyone, there wasn't really a dud when it came to staging. I think everyone kind of made a strong choice. Apart from that Ariana Grande looking girl that kind of just had that wedge of. You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
She had like a wedge behind her, and she kind of just sat on it.
Oh.
She's the one
Yeah.
that looked like Ariana Grande.
Quite late, nearer the end,
Yeah,
that was.
I think she was Armenia.
What was the one that everyone loved? Finland?
Yeah,
Was
Finland.
that Cha Cha Cha?
Yeah,
Yeah, people loved that.
Utterly.
Cha,
Really
cha,
loved
cha,
it.
Yeah, that was a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, it was.
Because I said to you, because me and Mum watched the videos, and I couldn't find a live performance to show her before we went to Eurovision, and the video's kind of quite frenetic and quite like hard to watch. So I think that combined with the noise of the song, Mum was a bit like, she was like, oh, I don't like this. And I kept saying, no, people really like this song, and you need to see him perform it because it's really fun.
It's always interesting being a crowd watching the show because people went bananas
Yeah.
for that.
They did.
And then the official judging from the panels, I don't know, they were fine with Finland, but then the public vote
Yeah, they got
zhuzhed them right up.
500 points.
Were they like
They,
third
they,
place?
they came second.
They came second.
Yeah, it was between him and
Loreen. Oh, we need to talk about Loreen.
Was.
We need to talk about Loreen. So, the
Well.
movie Dune.
yeah.
The movie Dune.
Have you heard of the movie Dune? Dune. There was actually a few Dune inspired kind of looks and sounds in that.
Yeah, there was that other with the hair. And
Yeah,
the...
there was a kind of a scorpion act from those two women. The women that did had scorpion hair that kind of was like a the horn of an animal. That
Oh,
felt...
and they joined them
Yeah,
at
and they
one
joined...
point.
That felt...
Do you remember?
I didn't see that
They
bit.
turned towards each other
Yeah,
and
and
joined
like,
them, or let them meet.
That was very Dune. I said that Loreen had kind of she was like a Dune sex worker, like a high-end Dune sex worker was her look, I would say. It was all kind of, like, you felt like you could see where she'd connected some tubes to her, like, outfit, but it felt like it was made of, like, the flesh of her enemies.
She is from outer space, and
She's
that performance was as
Yeah.
well. And listeners will know that that's a major compliment coming from me as a big fan of space.
And I will say, didn't catch one single lyric of that song. I know it's called Tattoo because I heard tattoo.
Yeah.
But everything was had him on him real, like a tattoo. That's the only lyrics I
I have
could
to say,
distinguish.
had no effect on me to stay in my mind.
Yeah.
So you haven't got a tattoo because of that song?
No, Cha 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 stuck.
Or you're going to
Yeah.
get a cha-cha-cha tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but that didn't stick.
Yeah, you were quite surprised that Loreen won the whole
Yeah.
thing, weren't you?
Yeah, very.
I'm not surprised she won
I
the whole
was.
thing, but she got the points.
Yeah.
In quite a remarkable way.
Didn't
But I was saying to Mum, because Mum went into it without remembering Loreen winning with Euphoria, and I was saying it's interesting to see someone who doesn't have the kind of the Euphoria, like, nostalgia and love for Loreen. You were kind of a
was
bit less
cold,
interested in her,
new.
weren't
Yeah.
you?
I loved how it was just her on the stage, how it started very up close, and then it slowly pulled out.
Yeah.
That was just great.
Although after she won, I did say I'd love to just hear that opening air horn, like that Inception Hans Zimmer noise from Euphoria, and just hear her do that song instead.
I was listening to Euphoria this morning, and also what's so great about Euphoria is all the strings as well. Wonderful.
Okay,
song.
so we
Much better.
so we just played Euphoria for Mum. Yeah, do you see how I think some people were saying, oh, we love Loreen this year, but her song's kind of a watered down Euphoria.
No, it wasn't anywhere near as good as that.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
it's a great song.
Sorry. Sweden.
I can't get over how those noises at the beginning are literally a Hans Zimmer, like, Inception music score. Like, that would be in the trailer for Inception.
Or it's like you're out in the ocean on a boat and it's really misty, and suddenly you hear and you're like, there's a boat coming directly towards us.
And Loreen's like the prow of it
Yeah.
with those nails. Honorable mention to someone who I think none of us had really predicted, and that was the guy called, hold on,
What, Cyprus?
Serbia, the guy called
Oh.
Luke Black, the one that looked like a Benny Drama character.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that had the centre part and the white shirt and the kind of pale face. And his dances, do you remember he did that very high concept performance where he was in kind of a space clam to start with? Remember, like a shell from space? And he was wearing like an outfit that didn't match with a space theme. And then his dancers were all plugged into something. Do you remember they were like tethered?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he had to unplug
He
them.
was
He went
pulling
round
them
and-
all out.
Yeah, and every time he pulled one out, steam came out. Of it,
Yeah.
like he was unplugging robots.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you a note of the song that he was doing, but
No.
I remember the space clam.
It
and
was
him pulling out those-
dramatic.
Yeah, it was really.
Did you notice that everyone, if people had dancers, it was always 4?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're limited to 4 dancers.
I think you do get. I think you're only allowed a certain amount of people on stage. I think.
Maybe it's the capacity at the M&S Arena.
Yeah. Well, how many dressing rooms are they going to do? I actually saw the dressing room situation.
They were built out.
It's all completely like all kind of
Constructed.
prefab.
Would have to be.
Yeah. Did you see? Did I send you that video of Charity Shop Sue?
Yeah.
Really good of her walking around backstage saying she's got to do Lorena's nails. Got to use my own polish.
Lorena, I'm coming, darling.
Yeah, she's like, got to use my own nail polish. That was really funny.
Can I say something?
No. Yeah, of course you can.
I was loving watching when all the scoring was being done, and some Swedish people that were there that had their flags, so that's how we knew, because they kept waving their flags. But one of them particularly was so overcome when Sweden won, he
Yeah.
fell to the floor,
Yeah.
and he was sobbing, and he sobbed for 10 minutes, which I was so fascinated by.
I'm guessing
To the nth
I'm
degree.
guessing it wasn't necessarily a thing of national pride. I'm guessing it was, considering we were at Akbar, it was more a gay fan of Eurovision / Loreen, and the kind of the being proud of her winning for a second time.
And for 4 hours in.
Yeah, and I was going to say,
True.
4 hours of a few white wine spritzers. That's going to get anyone going,
Well,
isn't it?
we haven't actually mentioned anything about the country that we all come from and their entry.
Said I wrote a song about how they did me wrong. They bid do. Listen, as I said to Ben, she's not going to get down and do a dance break in those bay trading hipster low hugging trousers and those chunky boots and that exposed corset.
It's a good song, but she is not a star.
Yeah, it's. I think this song is as good as Unicorn in sense of like they're quite similar sounding, kind of actual good like fun pop songs, but it included absolutely none of the like flair and there was no excitement. And
no,
she's just she's like too. It's not even that she thinks she's too cool for Eurovision. It's just her style just did not. The performance style did not work for Eurovision. It was like, and she was last to perform, and there was nothing happening. It was like
Who
went out with a whimper.
The women, all girls in pink with long plaits.
Oh God, that was Bordeaux's favourite.
Well, that's what I was about to say because I was sitting next to him and we were all chatting and taking no notice of it because it was so not riveting. And at the end, he said to me, "That's my favourite." And I just looked at him, and I must have looked at him in such a way that he couldn't stop laughing. But I was serious.
I mean, he is a funny fish, that one.
He said, "Do you hate me now?"
I think maybe it was Croatia. I can't get a handle on. This seems to have the most people in the picture. The tiny thumbnail I can see. Oh. I want a big shout out to Norway, who I did an impression of the singing song, the singing style of that song to two people I've never met before, and they were really impressed with my impression of Norway.
Where? Where was this?
They were sitting in front of us, and it was the bit where they were like, Norway was about to come on, and I said to them, "I really don't like this song." And they were like, "Oh no, we quite like the Norway song." And I was like, "You listen to that chorus." She literally goes, "Oh, oh, 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 oh." And then the song was happening, and I was doing it behind them, and they were like, "You're actually doing a really good impression of that." It's King of the Queens.
Oh, like kind of fake Ava Max song.
Yeah, and she was wearing her outfit was real troublesome. Mm-hmm. It almost had the crumples in it, like as it's been taken out of the what's that brand? Smithies. Out of that Smithies fancy dress, and it was like medieval queen, and she's like, "We'll pop this on, snip the skirt off," and then it still had the like fold where it had been folded up.
It still smelled a bit plasticky.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't go near a naked flame in that.
It's like,
she'll go right
once
up.
she started sweating into that plastic smell's really going to come out. The queens. I mean, I said let's not talk about everyone. I think we've nearly mentioned every single act that happened.
Teddy and I were really enjoying the pods. So how they were all stationed in these all the acts in these different little pod areas.
Yeah.
And then when a new act came on, they all flashed the colours of that country's flag. That was very fun.
I think the only time there was an actual clunker moment was that slightly strange moment at the end where they kept trying to interview Loreen when she was in the lead.
Yeah. And
she wasn't really up for an interview, was she? And there was a few awkward moments. Alicia said something to her about her nails, and she was like,
"Are we really talking about
nails now?" Alicia was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, Alicia was like, "Well, have you seen yours? They're bananas." We also like talking about how the fact that once she had won, all the stage managers being like, "Wait, where's her set?"
Yeah.
Because she, maybe she performed 7th. Yeah. Is that behind all the other sets? Got to get it out. That must have been hard.
You and me were thinking about like forklift trucks backstage at the M&S Arena being like, "We've got to bring Loreen's block in." Beep, beep. "Hey, you got to get Loreen's block from the back."
"Wait, is that the top block or the bottom block? Don't get them mixed up. It'll squash Loreen."
"Oh no, he knocks over Francis Tower."
Also, didn't she have sand under her?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, speaking of June.
Where did they import that sand from?
I like watching when each country said 12 points to and then honed in, and it was on Sweden majority of the time.
Yeah.
In the end, she didn't know what to do. It's all right when you get at first when they hone in on you because of this and you're smiling and waving. You can't do that 10 or 12 times.
I know.
So you don't know what to do. And she was shaking her head more and more and more with her hair flying all over the place. Like, this can't be true. But she didn't know what else to do. And I loved watching that.
I still think the bowl, it paid off. But imagine winning Eurovision, then entering again.
It's a real, that takes some
risk.
That takes nerve.
Oh, I tell you what wasn't welcome.
What?
Who announced dues points from the UK?
Oh, Catherine Tate. That was met with a strangely positive positive sound in the room and an incredibly cold reaction from me and Ben. We were giving her dust. It's because we were trying to predict who it would be, and we were getting really excited, thinking it was going to be
Alison Hammond. And then we thought more realistically,
Holly Willoughby.
Yeah.
Well, then we're thinking BBC, Claudia Winkleman.
Yeah. Oh, Claudia and Tess together, we were thinking
Claudia
would have been
and
a
Tess,
fun thing.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's worth noting another part of Eurovision that we love is when they go around and get the points from the different countries, how every person that kind of zooms in is kind of another resident of the capital from Hunger Games. There was that, there's just like, we go now to Poland, and there's just like a woman with like one shoulder, and she's just like, hello from Poland. It felt like we were going around the districts, didn't it?
Yeah, and then there's that one woman, they did a full length shot of her.
Oh yeah, everyone else was
Shoulders up.
Yeah, was like waist up,
Waist up.
and then it was Spain, and she'd gone really far back from the camera and had one leg like beveled out to the side. You could tell they were like, Blanca, no, you no one else is doing it. You're breaking the rules. And she was like, I will stand like this. But all in all, it was a roaring success. And shout out to the organizer, the
Thomas,
guy,
his
Thomas.
name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
He's Germany.
Europe.
Europe. And he was wearing a great t-shirt that said, "You're a vision."
Yes, really good. And yeah, shout out to him for organising it, and it was smooth as silk this year, really good.
So we learned from last year when the feed went down.
Do you think they got an extra router in?
Also, we were watching live on Peacock.
Yeah.
And the US correspondent was Johnny Weir.
Oh my God, we need to talk about what we could see Johnny Weir was doing and saying and wearing and located in.
So Johnny Weir was located in a Target sponsored
Fake apartment set.
apartment set that was very overlit.
Yes, and overstocked. Just giant kind of leather ottomans here and chairs there and throws there. He was dressed like he was doing a kind of a reinterpretation of Peter Pan.
Yes, he was. But he said at the beginning, because Laura, you were wondering at the beginning what's he got in his hair, and he said it was flowers to reference Ukraine.
Yes,
so that was nice.
Yeah, and then the outfit was to reference, I don't know, Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie. Was he from Liverpool? And he was also wearing these kind of these giant gold platform shoes that were so chunky that they bordered on orthopedic, or like he'd maybe had broken both of his feet and he was in like a boot.
And it got to the stage, it became very like Big Breakfast, where he just sort of had his feet up.
Yeah, yes.
Like curled up in the sofa, almost like he had a cup of coffee, just watching the show.
I thought
reacting.
the outfit, my first thought when I saw the outfit was leprechaun.
He was quite
Yeah,
leprechaun,
it was
you're right.
leprechaun-y. And we were discussing what it was made of. Didn't we decide it looked like a nice strong Hessian?
He was very good though.
Yeah, and because the way the coverage works over here is so strange, because obviously in the UK what we do is you have just the commentary from like Graham, and then you have the hosts talking, whereas here we had the hosts talking, and then we had Johnny Weir in a tiny box in the corner only speaking at the moments when no one was speaking. So there's times where he was going, okay, I really like the okay, I've got to go.
Like politically between Cyprus and the others, what they're going to do is they're going to get 12 points. I bet you'll see.
You'll see. Yeah, and at that point when the points were coming in, he'd got into a Target armchair and he was draped his legs over the side. And at one point I heard him say, I can't see on the monitor's gone down. And then I heard him, it was like he was just talking to himself. They were doing all the points and I heard him say, and he was looking at the camera, he went, the monitor's really small, I have 20/20 vision. I can see. He was just like flapping his gums away and no one was listening. It was really fun.
So in the UK, normally it's Graham doing that. So who was doing it in the UK?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Alan Carr.
Let us know. Yeah, I mean, sure.
Good guess.
Yeah, probably.
Very good guess.
Well, that was Eurovision.
Yeah, it was
Laura,
great.
I know you made some notes as well.
They're hardly notes. It's just that whenever you ask me what I watched on the plane coming over,
Well, let's
I'm
finish
so vague and saying,
Yeah,
I don't
so-
remember the name.
Well, we're going to hear.
Well, I purposely didn't give Mum the title of one of them because I've told her maybe 3 or 4
I
times.
know
and
it
she's-
now.
What is it?
80 for Brady.
Oh, okay.
So 80 for Brady. How was that?
It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It just made me realise that those 4 women of 80 years old, I am going to be like them. I am already along those lines.
Right.
You're going to be.
I identified.
You're going to be as successful as Jane Fonda.
Well, that would be good, wouldn't it?
I
just
will say
identified with the...
Mum's description of 80 for Brady has morphed from, I watched the book club on the way over here, and I said, oh yeah, that one with this one and this one. She went, no, not them. I said, you're describing 80 for Brady. And then it's been 18 for Brady, it's been 800 for Brady.
Yeah,
She's definitely got the for Brady part down, but you finally got 80.
I did.
80 for Brady in the book club.
Oh no, they are. It's a mistake that I understand, but it was very funny. The mum's conviction. She's like, no, I watched
And
the
I
book
said
club.
someone was in it that wasn't,
Yeah.
and I was quite sure, wasn't
Yeah,
I?
you
And
were
then I
like-
suddenly realised who it really
Yeah,
was,
you
and
were
went,
like, oh, that's Sally
no,
Field.
Sally Fields.
She's Sally Field as well. You keep calling her Sally Fields.
Yeah. Well, there
Just
might
one
be more than
field.
one in the world, possibly.
Well, yeah.
I would
A
imagine.
collection of Sally Fields.
Yes.
In a field.
Gaggle.
Anything? Do you watch anything else in the plane?
I did. I watched We're Here.
Oh, and we are.
Yeah.
We're right here.
It was good. I really enjoyed it.
That show's very strategic. You start it and you're like, oh, whatever. And then by the end of the episode...
I cried.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually really did.
It's
They were running, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh, I hope no one can.
It's
is
very
looking
well
at
made
me.
and incredibly manipulative. It gets you every time. Like how queer
And
I
I
used to
also
be.
watched a documentary that was on for an hour, all about Richard Branson, and that was actually really
You
interesting.
were on Virgin.
Were you on
That's not-
Virgin?
that wasn't the point. It
But
was
you were on
What it
Virgin.
highlighted was the risks he took at the beginning.
But were you on Virgin?
Not telling you.
You were
What's
on
that got to
Virgin.
do with it?
No, I don't want to be crass in front of you, Mum, but I do feel like Richard Branson has like a device that is, anytime someone watches that documentary about Virgin, he gets like a little shock. And I was going to be disgusting and say it was a vibrator, but I do feel like and he just keeps it there, and he just gets a little notification. I just imagine Richard just looking at it and just smiling to himself. I got another one.
Great.
Right.
Right, that's you. We don't know when we're going to be back in the podcast because Fraser and Laura are going to go to the UK for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'll
Maybe
be-
we'll do an episode next week. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe not.
We'll see.
See if anything interesting happens during the week.
Yeah, see if Laura falls.
Do you know that went through my head?
Yeah.
It honestly
We
did.
haven't had our annual night in WeHo yet, so that's normally when she goes down.
Yikes, yikes,
Not happening.
yikes.
I'm definitely not letting that happen ever again.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Get in touch on the Instagram. Email us at...
You're welcome, America podcast at gmail.com.
And go to our Instagram and go to our change.org petition to get Cheryl to
Better have some GD signatures on that thing after this episode. Now
Yeah.
we've mentioned it.
Yeah, come
go
on,
and
please.
Go and sign up to it.
do that over rating and reviewing us, okay? Well,
Yeah,
do them all.
That's true.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks, Mum.
You're welcome.
You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
I go by Toyota. Sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
Marlene.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.